The subject is my plums. Victoria Wood is going to talk, if she can.
I can.
When I say now, now!
Oh, my plums are under the sink in my kitchen, which has got red and white wallpaper, and they're jammed behind the waste pipe, and they're in yellow and green tins, and every so often I'll take out a tin and I'll open it. I'll put it in my favourite bowl, which has got red and blue stripes around, and it's white china.
Derek Nimmo challenge.
Revolution of red.
You had red and blue
There were
wallpaper.
different shades of red, actually.
It's a very good reply, Victoria, but I'm afraid if you do repeat the words... He's mean, actually.
He is, isn't he? I can see that from here.
I really am mean.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I mean, Kenneth complains about coming all the way from Great Portland Street, but she's come all the way from Morecambe.
Right, so Kenneth the cult.
Exactly. Thank you, Derek. I'm glad that that's been made, apparently, yes. I mean, there's too little of it. I mean, people don't realise I'm a cult figure. I am an enormous cult.
You're a cult in your own time.
People have said you're one of the biggest cults round here. Thank you, Derek.
And only you would dare say that.
Thank you.
Derek Nimmo, you have the subject of my plums. There are 47 seconds starting now.
Well, my plums grow in my garden in Northamptonshire, and very beautiful they are. Victoria plums, matter of fact, and I like them a great deal. And when it comes to the season of the harvest, I take a bowl of them along to the vicar, and he always puts them right in front of the altar, so that everyone within our little community can rejoice at the sight of these wonderful purple plums that have given so much joy and happiness to everyone in that part of the fair country.
Hesitation. He couldn't quite remember where he lived.
Let's explain for those
Curious
who don't know the
religious
game.
ceremony, this, putting the plums on the altar and... I must say. Is it some kind of cult that you have?
Well, he's a cult figure up
He
there.
must be, yes. Very dark one, I should think, too.
He's known as the biggest cult in Northamptonshire, actually, but... Peter, you have a correct challenge, and you have the subject of my plums, and there are 16 seconds starting now.
My plums are those small damson type that grow best in Shropshire and perhaps some parts of northern Worcestershire, and they make the most wonderful cheese if you boil them with a certain amount of sugar for a very long time, and then leave them preferably for a number of years.
Peter Jones was speaking as the whistle went, gained that all-important extra point, and he has taken the lead at the end of that round, one ahead of Derek Nimmo, and Derek begins the next round. Derek, the subject is an attack of the hiccups. That's what you have to talk about starting now.
That is a very annoying thing when you get an attack of the hiccups. I think the best thing to do, if it's a chum that's been afflicted, is to go along and bang him very hard on the back. And it's quite surprising how quickly it seems to go. Other ways of doing it, of course, are drinking out of a glass on the wrong side, which is a bit messy, because it can dribble down your pants and get awfully damp and nasty altogether. I don't care for that method. But one of the other ways I think of getting rid of an attack of the hiccups is to stand on your head. Upside down. With your shoes...
Peter Jones has challenged.
Can't stand any other way. You're on your head, you're upside down. Repetition, deviation, boring repetition.
Actually, it was a description of what he was doing. But, Peter, we loved your challenge. We're going to give you a bonus point for that. But we leave the
I didn't like his challenge.
No, neither did I.
But you still get a point, Derek, for an incorrect
I
challenge.
don't care. I didn't like his challenge.
No, I quite agree.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion. And,
He's a cult with his plums on the altar. And I think we should give him proper respect.
He's still got the subject and a point and 30 seconds on an attack of the hiccups starting now.
The most incredible thing I know is when you get an attack of the hiccups from eating plums, because sometimes it does lead to constipation. And therefore...
Victoria has challenged.
I'm challenging on medical grounds.
Yes, I don't think
Plums
it would lead to
can
constipation.
never lead to constipation,
No,
as I know.
Quite the reverse, I would have thought. So, Victoria, very good challenge, and you have 22 seconds for the subject of an attack of the hiccups, and you start now.
The thing to do is when you get hiccups is, and I'm just pausing a minute to give you boys a chance to butt in and give me a really bad time. No, I've remembered what I'm going to say now. The thing to do is if you get hiccups is to get
Derek Nimmo, challenge.
Repetition of the thing to do.
Yes, but she was giving you the chance to butt in, which you didn't do before, and as you did it then...
That's the thing to do.
I think that was absolutely wrong.
I didn't want to butt in.
She's come all the way from Morecambe.
Oh, all right.
And the train was late. And she was playing the game in a very unusual way. It was quite brilliant. Carry on, Victoria. You have another point for that. There are 12 seconds on an attack of the hiccups starting now.
The best method to cure a person who's got hiccups is to stand them in the middle of the room and all stare at them, and they get so embarrassed they forget they've got hiccups and they stop hiccuping. Either that or they get really obsessed with attention and they turn into a career in show business, where I don't know which you think is better.
I think that Victoria Wood is bringing a new dimension to the game, speaking so fast that nobody can make out what on earth you're talking about. And if you do that with tremendous aplomb, as she did, well, then you can keep... All right. Keep going to the whistle wind, you get an extra point, and you can go into the lead alongside Peter Jones, which is exactly what she's done. Kenneth, it's your turn to begin. There's a subject here that Ian Mester's thought of, which we thought you might have something to say, and it's called being photographed through a gauze. So if you can tell us something on that subject, starting now.
Being photographed through a gauze was a practice used in early Hollywood films whereby the subject was made to look infinitely more lovely because the lines, so to speak, were taken out of the visage and therefore the appearance was flattered, to say the least. Now, I heard about Merle Oberon, who was always done through this gauze, and I said, when I was in Pinewood, I'd like to be photographed through a gauze. I'm sure I'm allowed to say, because it's in the subject, you see. And they said, you'll be lucky if you're done through a blanket, mate. But makeup people had said earlier on, you're more like a paper-hanging job, which was all agree that with a regular application of the witch hazel cream, you can improve the skin texture enormously. Now, my skin is as smooth as a baby's...
Peter Jones's challenge.
Repetition of skin.
Yeah, what a pity. We were just in... Really, you did repeat the skin.
Do you think it's a pity that I challenged?
Yes, because I was enjoying it.
Well, I'm terribly sorry. It's a curious place to come for your enjoyment. I realise you've got peculiar tastes, but there you are.
I know, it's such a serious program.
You wouldn't be accepting money for it, of course.
No,
I wouldn't. Otherwise, you're cheating
He is
somebody.
accepting money for, you great fool, and it's a sight more than you're getting, I can tell you that much for nothing.
No, I always thought that was unfair that he got more than us.
I know, I think it's disgraceful.
It wouldn't...
especially about his job that he should get more money. I was appalled when I heard I'm a cult figure.
Well,
I'm a cult.
It still needn't be very much if he's getting more than I'm getting. I can tell you, I'm not jealous.
I can tell you, probably, if that is true, it's only because I have to concentrate throughout the program. You can just concentrate when you want to. Peter Jones.
Yes.
I agree with your challenge. He did repeat the word skin 3 times, and you have 8 seconds on being photographed through a gauze starting now.
Well, one of the difficulties about being photographed...
Kenneth Williams, a challenge.
He said one of the difficulties, there's not one difficulty with him, there's hundreds.
He's going to go through them one at a time. What's the matter with that?
Nothing wrong with it at all, Peter. You have another point and 5 seconds on the subject, starting now.
Well, the 905th most difficult thing about being photographed through a gauze is that it... Never know.
Peter, you have increased your lead at the end of the round, getting points during it and 1 for speaking as the whistle went. And Victoria Wood is still in second place, and she also begins the next round. And the subject is choosing a frock to suit me. Will you tell us something about that subject in the game, starting now?
Choosing a frock to suit me is a very long, drawn-out process. I think it has taken up to now 20 years, and I still haven't found one. But I don't mind, because I'm carrying on wearing trousers and jumpers and jeans and swimming costumes like I was telling you about before. So I don't really mind too much that I can't really find a dress. And I said really twice, and nobody seems to be listening, so I think I'll just carry on.
Derek Nimmo challenge.
I thought I'd help her out again. You know,
Thank
read
you.
her twice and dressed twice, she said as
I
well.
didn't. I said frock once and dress
frock
once.
and then she said dress.
I said really twice, actually, if you want to be
No, I'm
absolutely
sorry.
accurate.
I should have challenged because I did hear it, but I wasn't giving it my attention. I still can't get over this business about you getting more money than we're getting.